Hello fellow gamers, my name is Brandon, the founder of the Minder Games, and today is the fourth video of my genre analysis series. Today guys, we're going to be talking about adventure games. Now let's start off with the definition of adventure games. Adventure games focus on puzzle solving with a narrative framework, generally with few or no action elements. Other popular names for this genre are graphic adventure and point and click adventure, but these only represent a part of a much broader genre. So like it said in the definition there, these games really rely on the narrative of the story, the narrative work. So if you really want to get into the video game industry, then I would really recommend going into these games if you love storytelling and you want to learn how to write. Now, I picked this game, Uncharted 1, Drake's Unfortune, to show you, so you could really get a feel for it, because these games really represent the genre well. Now, I'm going to give you a statistic on why these games are so popular. Now, in the first video I ever did for RPGs, I used the same statistic chart to show you the adventure games part, because it was below RPGs with 7.7% of gamers playing them. Now, this is how big the genre actually is, and like I said, why they actually need games to have that narrative, because you may enjoy the gameplay, but the narrative secretly makes you want to play it even more and wants to create goals for you to complete, because otherwise the goals in the game don't become apparent. And some people may like that, some people might like the unknown, so that those games are for them, but a lot of people love that story to kind of go, you need to go here next, so go there and possibly try this, and then you have your own approach on how you take that action, and that's why these games are so good. The other great thing about this is how many genres can fuse with it. So like you can have, like I said, the puzzle element, you can have the economic element, possibly parkour, which is in this game Uncharted, that you will see a bit later. You could possibly have like you've got the shooter. This is also in the third person perspective. This is not in first person. You can't get this in third person, even though this has been remastered for PS4, which is what I'm playing this on. So in this clip, you will see some parkour elements eventually. So like I said, you've got the third person perspective. What other ones are there? You've probably got the RPG element, purely because you're playing the role of a treasure hunter in this, Nathan Drake, who is trying to find the treasure of El Dorado in this game. I think it's in Spain, because it was between the Spaniards and his ancestor, Drake, Francis Drake. And I think it's based in Spain. I don't know I haven't looked into the possibility of it being real locations and real parts of the jungle, but I would say possibly for this game that they would have some element of realism in there, so like real locations, to make the game more effective without the player realizing, because obviously many players just buy the game and play it and enjoy it, and that's the main thing for developers. But if they love the game a lot, then they will probably research into it more. So if you're interested in that, maybe drop a comment below in the video and tell me if that's true or not. Okay, so this is like the element of parkour in this game. You could also count this as a puzzle, because when you first play it, because obviously I played this before to about 98% of the game, because that's just the whole story, but there's also treasures that you have to find that have got a little glimmer on them, and they're like extras, but they're really hard to find, so that gets you 100%. They have many difficulty modes on this. So they have Explorer, which is basically for people that just want to enjoy the game graphically and want to probably go and find all the treasures to get 100% of the game completed in terms of achievements and goals, especially on Xbox One, PC, Xbox One and PS4 and all those sorts of things. You can do it on PC, I think, but this game is only available for, say, I think it's PS4. I think it's only a PlayStation game, so But for like other games, if there's like extras, you'll only want those. You want to go and find the sort of extra little bits. So they might have a mode that just allows you to go and find them, and you won't have to deal with the enemies. So you might kill them in one shot, and it's not really realistic. This is a puzzle element. So like I said, I'm kind of speeding through the actual puzzle elements of this. So I'm just going to tell you a bit about them. But basically, you go into your ancestor's diary and you find out that this light or brazier is like can be lit with a match, basically, and you have to shoot the lights above to set that wood on fire to get through. Now, if you were, like I said, if you were playing for this for the first time, you wouldn't really know that was a thing. It definitely took me a while to learn that. So that's a puzzle. That could be a puzzle element. This is more of a parkour element, but especially with like in terms of music as well. That's another point. Music can also make these games very effective. So that's also something to really look at and really listen to, because it can make battles more intense and more fun for you to play. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on adventure games, and be sure to like, comment and subscribe on this video, and check out my website, which was proudly created with Wix, and I will see you guys in the next video.